Dude, technical issues right from the get-go. I love it. GMs, guys, welcome to the Swarm Report. I'm Hudah, bringing you around the crypto AI ecosystem, just 30 minutes a day. Have a special episode of the show for you guys here. Joining shortly is a special guest who's, building at the forefront of this crypto AI revolution. And then icing on the cake happens to be building in the Virtual's ACP 2, right along with our Swarm. It's in the autonomous hedge fund and trading DAO. We've got DeFi Vaz joining here in just a few minutes. He's the founder of Velvet Unicorn and Velvet Capital. So we're getting him ready to come on up here when he's ready. I'll bring him up. We'll get into their project and what they're building. See if we can maybe get some a little behind the scenes on the ACP Swarm for you guys too. We'll see what we can do. In the meantime, guys, we're streaming right now over on Abstract, and we're on X and on YouTube. And if you want to support the show, just hit the like button on any of those platforms. But make sure you come over here to the YouTube side as well here. If you can't catch these shows live, you catch the replays right over here. And by the way, we do a morning stream as well. That one is crypto NFTs, dabble in AI as well, but called Chain Reactor. It's at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Also follow us at SlamAI_XYZ. You can check out our light paper right there in the bio. And then, of course, our flagship AI agent, it's the Swarm. Let me get their socials out here, too. We can just get this up at the front. And by the way, our show is typically 30 minutes. It'll be that still today, too. It's prom day here in Chicagoland. And so the house is going to get flooded with kids, I think, here shortly. It might be chaos. You might hear some of it. We persist. We'll battle through that. Velvet Unicorn. Again, it's another team that's building in the Virtual's ACP, but, building out their own platforms too. I'm very excited to dive into everything they're working on, but follow them at VU_Virtuals. There's DeFi Vaz. You can find them at DeFi Vaz. And then finally there, it's Velvet_Capital. Why don't we take a look at cookie.fun and do a market review just to start things off? As you're feeling out there, crypto's feeling a bit back, like really back. And you could probably say the same about the AI ecosystem too. Market cap up 5.12% here in the past 24 hours, 812 billion, guys. We're maybe halfway to our all-time high, meaning we've got quite a bit to go. Exciting to think about it in that way, that there's a lot ahead of us if you think this is not just a little fluky little pump, if you will. Let's look at our top agents here by market cap. Let's sort here properly. Over the past 3 days, it's Fartcoin, no surprise here, but Fartcoin on top, still over that $1 billion market cap, followed by Turbo, Ket, Toshi, and Faye. I'm trying to remember if I've seen Velvet Unicorn up here as well. I feel like I have, at least in Mindshare. Over on Infra, it's FET, Virtual, AI16Z, Ask Venice, and Prompt. And then on DeFi, dude, I have to ask if I'm actually saying that right. Finally have somebody I can ask. We have Venice, Hey Anon, Cortex, Griffane, and Olos, and then we'll throw them all together here and sort by Mindshare. And yet again, no surprise, it's Fartcoin on top here. Shocker. All right, we got Voss here. Let's bring him on up. Let's get into, everything going on in his ecosystem. And then the Virtual's ACP, man. My goodness. Voss, dude, welcome. Hang on, you probably have an echo, sorry. Okay, probably better now. How you doing, man? Welcome.
Jam, doing well. How are you?
Dude, I'm great. Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, thanks for inviting. So I was trying to figure out the browser and the StreamYard, whatever, login. But yeah, we're here finally. So great to be here.
Everybody's usually doing spaces. It's kind of why I like this format. You don't see enough of it out there, I don't think. Like maybe you start to in the kind of the crypto AI, NFT world, but in AI, I don't know. I don't think we see a lot of the main characters, kind of like this. So I'm happy to be doing something to maybe change that.
Awesome. Love it. Yeah.
So we're going to have
main character is a strong word. But anyway.
Dude, I said at the beginning, main character is fine because I said, like, you guys and everybody, building in the ACP right now, this is literally at the forefront of this crypto AI. I call it a revolution, maybe, whatever. It sounds great, but it is true. The whole world is starting to notice what's happening here. this maybe goes beyond what we need to talk about today, but I do think AI is changing how people interact with the blockchain. So I think it is that cutting edge and important, and you guys are right there building. So I stand by what I said.
All right, I'll take it.
There we go. So let's get into it with just a couple questions, then we'll get into Velvet Unicorn and Capital and yes, ACP. But okay, this is, I don't know if you run the account, if you have an intern that does, but DeFi, or hang on, it's DeFi, is that correct?
DeFi, yeah.
I'm doing it right, guys. All right. The future of trading on chain. Why?
Yeah, so look, I mean, I think that right now the space is becoming so complex. I mean, and I've been in crypto since like 2016. So even back then, trying to figure out which ICO to buy, that was already like complex enough, but at least you didn't have millions of them, right? Then, DeFi came in. DeFi was kind of a little bit more diverse, but also more complicated because you got to like check and make sure you understand whether it's a Ponzi or not. And I mean, if it's a Ponzi, maybe it's fine as well. That's what you're up to. That's, I mean, if you want to participate in that, that's on you. But now with meme coins and everything else, they're like literally millions. I think last time I checked, 20 million tokens alive right now. And, we got pump fun and everything with like thousands launching every day. So you really got to be on 24/7, locked in, to be able to win. And it doesn't even guarantee that you win because 99% of them are rugs anyway. So I think in this just complex, fast-paced environment, as a human, you cannot do much anymore, just sitting behind the screen. So it's really like more of a arm race of what tools everyone uses, right? And that's how all these bots and trading terminals popped up. But I think AI is sort of the next step. And that's exactly how we're thinking about it at Velvet, because I mean, if you notice, we have Velvet Capital, which is the main product of the trading terminal and portfolio management platform. And Velvet Unicorn is essentially the AI agent that we built to help you get these AI superpowers and try and beat others in this madness that's happening right now.
There's a few things you said that I love, but like yeah, I guess especially focusing on meme coins, it kind of feels like we're back, and it's probably a little too early to say we're back, but things are ramping up, and you're feeling it. People in the trenches are starting to get excited, and so I was thinking about the last time we really were cooking, and the meme coin market cap hits all-time high. Right, the way people traded it evolved. People were using bots, and they were figuring out how to copy trade and how to get some certain signals on things, and then things cooled off. But when it comes back and cooks, people are going to be greeted by all these new AI tools that give that kind of access, but like on steroids to everybody. It's the game is going to completely change. I don't know what's going to determine the winner there. I want to get your thoughts on this. But if everybody has all these different tools, and they're all, I'm assuming, different levels of excellent, but how do you win? How do you get an edge on somebody that is using maybe the similar AI tools? Does it come down to who's got the better signals and analytics and better data? What's this going to look like?
Yeah. I mean, if you ask me, it's kind of similar to what happened in traditional finance, right? Because like back in the day, everyone was, trading on their phone, just like passing orders. Then the computer systems kicked in, but you still had to kind of press buttons manually. Then people started doing algorithmic trading and HFT, high frequency trading, and try to like get your servers as close to the exchange as possible. I mean, like all kinds of. It's an arms race, right? And right now, if you retail in traditional markets, I mean, it's very hard to have an edge, right? Because you're up against all this, crazy algorithms. So I think similar things already happening, kind of, and it's going to be more and more of that. And yeah, it's really going to be a question of what tools you're using, what data those tools are based on. Especially if we talk about AI, data is very important. How do you actually trade? Because right now everyone's doing some AI agentic research stuff, but it's really, I mean, there are two ways to get an edge, right? As an AI tool, one is to have some proprietary data or access to just a vast amount of data that no one else has. That's one edge, and then the other is actually training the model. And by training, I mean fine tuning, maybe even tweaking the weights, right, of the actual model. And that's that's kind of hard to do, and I bet that's what 99% of people in AI crypto don't even know how to do, right? But I think that's where the edge, that's the source of edge, right? And that's kind of a bit different to what we saw in the first wave of AI, which is just slap bots on Twitter.
Right. But we saw separation there. We saw the ones that just could chat and they couldn't go any further than these like really like kind of out of the box factory stuff. And then ones that actually were better at talking and they separated. And I assume we'll see the same thing with these deep AI tools, like great ones really stand out from the rest, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait for it. Okay. Then into Velvet Unicorn. Where's the name come from? Why Velvet Unicorn?
Yeah, man. Like it's kind of random because I mean the platform is called Velvet. I mean that's the name of the platform, right? But back in the day, we started as an asset management protocol, so that's how it became Velvet Capital, right? And then we actually had an NFT collection for early supporters of Velvet, and it was called Velvet Founders Club, right? So I mean, it's still live. You can check, on Magic Eden. It's not very active in terms of trading, but people still, hold it as whatever early supporters, right? And so one of the NFTs is this Velvet Unicorn. So I just took it and turned it into an AI, right?
Dude, I love the lore.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of random, but it was cool. And I mean, initially we launched on virtual, so it was kind of an experiment because I knew the team at virtuals from back in the days. So actually, I mean, that's even more lore, but we worked at the same company, BCG. It's like consulting, management consulting back in the day. We weren't at the same office, but I knew because like pretty much everyone who's ex-BCG and does crypto, there are maybe like, I don't know, less than 100 people like that. So we all know each other. And they were doing like gaming Path DAO before that. And then I kind of like realized when they launched this new virtuals launchpad, and I immediately like thought that we got to try it out and experiment. So Velvet Unicorn was launched even before they turned this, actual whatever pump fun-ish launchpad, right? So we were one of the first agents to launch, and kind of experimenting. And then it started as like a fun experiment, but it kind of grown into much more until today. And hopefully, like it'll be growing even further in terms of functionality.
Yeah, I mean that's the separation right there. So like the truth terminal goat thing happened, and then there's like this thing that inspires everybody to give it a shot. It kind of wakes everybody up, and you're like, okay, well let's try it and see what we can do with that. And a lot of people tried. A lot of them are not making it through to the other side, and then some like you guys. You've got that different thing behind the scenes. You got the, I'm assuming the team and the product, again, the data. So again, that separation, this is kind of what it looks like here, which is, man, it's awesome. What does the team look like? What does it take to build out products like this? And we'll get into the products and what they do and how people use them.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, like if you think about Velvet as a whole ecosystem, right, it's essentially a very vertically integrated stack, right? So we have, obviously the smart contract layer where we created our own trade execution engine on chain. Then we have the vault infrastructure for portfolio management. So these both are sort of on chain. So that's why we need smart contract devs. So we have two brilliant smart contract devs for that. And we obviously have, some backend work. And we have the app, which is the front end. So we have backend, front end, full stack dev. And then for the AI part, we have two absolutely brilliant AI researchers. So one of them was actually head of AI lab of, one of the big institutions. And, the other one is very experienced in creating all kinds of different neural networks and algorithms, both like for face recognition, video, trading algorithm, hedge fund, essentially statistical models. Again, we all, I think, complement each other from different backgrounds and different sides, and like together, like be able to build this vertically integrated system. Because there are a lot of moving pieces here that needs to be stacked up.
Dude, I wonder if people realize like the caliber of these teams that are out there, like you guys. You know, it's like these. I mean, there's just people who are excellent in these different tech fields that are coming together. Like everybody senses what's going on here. It's like you need to be here. This is the cutting edge of quite a few things, but really, really impressive talent that's just kind of all over crypto AI. And it's out there too, outside of the crypto side too. It's just a lot of talent that's here in AI, but we're lucky to have them in the crypto side too, because I think we all love crypto so much. Velvet Unicorn. Okay, so born late October, I think, at least when the token launched. But tell me about Velvet Unicorn and what it does and its purpose right now and where people can use it.
Yeah. So again, right, like it started as an experiment. Like what we wanted to do first was to actually launch it and let it manage its own portfolio on Velvet, because again, we had a portfolio management protocol, so you can create your own chain vault, manage it, and then other people are able to deposit and withdraw, right? So the idea was to just give Unicorn one vault, let it run the strategy, and then have others. So like, yeah, if you go to Explore, for example, you'll see the different portfolios there, right? So that was the initial idea. Then we started on virtuals first. They didn't have any on-chain, functionality for integrations, and we really wanted to try and do everything in game, because that was the main framework, and I think there were like quite a few benefits coming up with different agent interactions. I mean, it took a while, but finally it's materializing right now. So we sort of started with the game framework, and then because the on-chain was not there yet, we started with more of a research, on-chain research, data, Twitter account, obviously, right? And then with time, we kind of now see it as 3 phases. So first phase, which is live right now, it's a research AI. It has a Twitter account. It's integrated into a Telegram bot, which is in beta right now. And it also is integrated right in the platform. So if you go to Velvet, you'll see at the bottom there's a unicorn, which you can talk to, ask different questions, and it'll help you navigate the trenches, right? We think of it as your trench buddy, essentially. So that's the first step, first stage, so phase 1. The second phase is actually making it do on-chain transactions. So this is already in beta. If you type, for example, buy me a certain token, it will actually do it, but it will do it from our test wallet. So please don't buy big amounts of shitcoins, because it's just our test wallet that's running there. But right now we're integrating it with the wallet infrastructure, so it will be able to do it for you, right? And it can be as simple as buy me this shitcoin, and as complex as okay, take my USDC, find me what pool has the highest APY right now, and put it in the top 3 pools, right? And then with time it can become more and more complex. That's also like a very nuanced thing. How do you translate natural language into a payload, and then how do you execute this payload? So we use intent-based architecture for that. So that's the stage 2, right? So stage 1 just research, stage 2 actual on-chain execution, and then stage 3. So that's what we wanted to do from the beginning, but now we're realizing it's actually more complex. So stage 3 is making it manage portfolios, and not only its own portfolio, because we don't want it to be just a single strategy. Everyone has their own risk appetite and wants to do different things. So the idea is to get it to run automated strategy according to the user preferences, right? So as a user, you come and you say, okay, look, I'm very low risk. Just want to move my stables across Aave, Morpho, Compound, a few blue chip protocols. So just do this for me, right? And then I'll create a custom portfolio and basically run the stretch. So that's how we're thinking about it, right? 3 stages. I would say we are halfway there right now. Obviously, it's cool that we're already live and you can actually play around with it, and it'll become more and more advanced with time. Yeah,
man, there's so little in, like, just honestly in crypto that has actual real product market fit, but this is the kind of tool that actually does that. Everybody in crypto will be using this or a tool like this, everybody will be using this, trading or even just, again, managing your wallet, managing your crypto. But then this is the way you get people from the outside in. This is how they come in, and they don't have to worry about juggling all these wallets and all these chains and all these different currencies. It's like your one-stop shop for it all. I wish I were new now, so I would come into this kind of environment, right? Again, the product that's it. I don't want to say end game, but I mean damn near end game. It looks like this. You know what I mean? It functions like what this is looking like, where this is leading to. So how does this then plug into the Virtuals ACP Swarm, the autonomous hedge fund? I see sometimes it doesn't have trading DAO at the end of it. I think that's still there. But yeah, how does Velvet Unicorn fit in? What's its role going to be?
Yeah. So if you look at this first, so let's take a step back, right? Like, what is ACP? ACP is just agent or agentic communication protocol, right? So the whole idea is to make agents communicate with each other, create this little economy, or maybe large economy, hopefully in the future, so that every agent can interact with another agent, buy some services, offer some services, etc. Right? So I think that's a very cool concept, and this essentially is the future of the agentic communications, and to actually demonstrate and battle test it. Virtuals team created this first couple of use cases, right? So this one that you see on the screen, AI XVC, is essentially one of the first use cases of this, right? And what's happening here, AI XVC is running a sort of a strategy, or we can call it a hedge fund. And there's essentially a workflow where you have, 3 different strategies here, right? So I'll talk about the bottom one, right, which is high risk. And so here, like the way it works, there are basically 3 stages, right? First stage, AI XVC receives a signal from 3 agents here: Athena, Velvet Unicorn, AIXP team. So we gave a signal to buy a certain token, for example, right? Or this token has a high potential, right? Based on our analytical models, because we have like a mix of statistical models, actually doing the price prediction, which honestly, like, I think it's pretty unique, because that's what real hedge funds use in the wild, right? So we have a very complex statistical model, and then we have a bunch of LLM models analyzing sentiment and a bunch of other parameters. And so once the XVC gets this triggers, so alpha calls from Athena, us, and AIXBT, then the second step, they pass it to 3 other agents for verification. And basically, I mean, it can be as simple as checking, okay, is this token a rug or not? Or, more complex analysis. I think you spoke with Lucky, so this guy's, doing some pretty interesting stuff in terms of token analytics. Yeah. And that's essentially how it is. I mean, the last step I see Swarm, so that's probably you guys, right? So
Right.
You gotta tell me what's happening over there. And then I think like the idea here is that AI XVC communicates with all these agents, and they communicate with each other, making it into this whole multi-agent system, which works to run your strategy on chain. So yeah, I mean, that's a very cool use case. I think we already integrated here, and there were like some first test transactions. Now, hopefully, it'll go live, and we'll actually see the whole system working together.
Yeah, how far along do you think it is? And I don't know how closely, like, you personally are working in the the ACP being built out. I don't know if you're deving it, with these guys or not. But do we have any kind of time frame? I think a couple of weeks ago we got from Virtuals, 30-ish days. Any idea with that?
Yeah, look, honestly, like, I don't know about the time frame. I just saw the message there that they added a couple more features so that we can test the responses and run a few basically test scenarios.
Right.
So that's cool. I think like today, tomorrow, we'll try it out. But yeah, I mean, I think that's gonna be in the next few weeks. That's from what I remember about the time.
Yeah. Dude, I can't wait. I wonder if there's going to be some more agents like even inserted into this swarm. I saw with like the Virtuals Hackathon, a few of those, maybe not the top winner, but in the top 10ish or whatever, were in the category of autonomous hedge fund. I'm like, oh, I think they'll be joining us in this party over here, which is awesome. And the cool thing about it being modular, I got to imagine, is you can just scale it as far out as you want, if the tech allows it. But I think that's one of the benefits of these swarms. To that point, I see people out on the timeline questioning, and I used to do this too, agent versus swarm. I used to think I really did used to believe, I'm like, no, you'll have one agent does everything for you. It'll be an expert. It'll be your assistant. It'll do just everything. And then now working, with a team like here at Crypto Slam and the way you spoke about your team there and the time and effort that goes into building a product that does even one thing. I don't think people understand what goes into building a thing that's an expert at one thing. So I like seeing people being skeptical online because it just means you get to teach them. But I guess maybe first question is, will we ever get to the point where there is an agent that is as smart as maybe potentially what a swarm is going to be? Like, are we going to have these expert agents that are just all encompassing?
Yeah, I don't think so, to be honest, because I also read this tweet, by the way, from Nick. Conceptually, I was always thinking that agents would be highly specialized in one thing, and then there'll be some coordination layer. I think like a fair question is, would it be, or like, does it have to be independent teams working on each piece, right? Or will it be just competing swarms of different agents, and each swarm is kind of handled by, I don't know if we can call it a team, but sort of a like corporation, right? Essentially it's like a pretty old question and concept of like having a big corporation versus having like a swarm of smaller startups, right? Or like having a monolithic architecture, or like a bunch of like microservices, with each microservice being pretty independent, right? So I think the question is as old as time. I think both viewpoints have some merit, but I think I'm more leaning towards very high specialization of the agents, and then trying to figure out how to coordinate between them.
Sure. Do you think they'll be able to coordinate efficiently? Like, is that going to be a challenge right out of the gate? Because that was one of his concerns here too. Just the idea of them transacting with each other just to exchange info seems like inefficient. I get it. It sounds like it could be, but without me hands-on and seeing or knowing, I have no idea.
No, to be honest, I'm thinking of it as an open market, right? By the way, another reason I like this model, because it's more decentralized, and we're here like doing crypto. So I think like the whole philosophy is very much aligned. But to your question, it's an open market, right? Like, let's say there are like 10 teams working on the same functionality, which is, I don't know, give you. Okay, let's put very narrow. Give you like signal whether the token is RAG or not. Let's imagine it's just a binary 0-1 outcome, right? And there are 10 agents. So obviously they're going to compete on price, right? Like, one will charge whatever 1 cent per call, the other one will cut it a little bit, will charge half a cent, right? So I think that's going to come out, and then maybe there's different latency, different response time, etc. So there's going to be some competition, and I think it'll just make the market more efficient, to be honest. So I'm all for it.
That's a great answer, because I'm going to hit you with a final question here. Normally I would go long. We got some time constraints today anyways. But okay, people also talking about on the timeline, do agents need tokens? Like CZ weighed in on it, and I see other people chiming in. This is probably about a month ago. I'm curious your thoughts if they need, and like, for what it's worth, my thought is, I don't know if they need, but I think it certainly can make everything better being on chain, whether it's just the transparency or this interoperability, or just all of the things we love about crypto. I think better. I don't know if it's necessary, but would love your thoughts.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you on that, right? Because I think Virtuals is, by the way, pretty great. They pivoted quite a bit in terms of the tokenomics for the agents. And I think now they landed on something interesting, which is, they initially had, actually not many people know, but they initially had either 3 or 5% trading fee for the ADA. It was like much higher even than today, right? And then, you know, they realized, okay, it's too much. So now it's 1% trading fee. And I think this is what gives a lot of people runway, a lot of teams, you know, real runway to be able to work on the agents. And it's, yeah, I think it's a pretty great model, because as a team, you don't need to sell any tokens to fund the runway. And I mean, not everyone has the same luxury as we have. Not everyone has like a much larger ecosystem behind them and can fund operations. So I think smaller teams definitely benefiting from tokenizing agents, just to, you know, be able to work heads down on it and have some, you know, cash flow from the fees. So I think that's great. I mean, obviously, like, community building aspect is another advantage. So that's how, you know, people learn about new things and essentially like gather around a certain use case that they like, and having some sort of skin in the game or a piece of the pie if they believe in the cause and also contribute to it, hopefully. So yeah, I think it's a nice model, both from like the business perspective and the whole growth and community building. So I'm all for it, to be honest.
I like it. Dude, great take. Great take. I like it. I'm with you. Okay, I'm going to throw your socials up here one last time. And while I'm doing that, anything final you'd like to share or shill or just put out there?
Oh yeah, I mean, like, obviously, you'll follow us on all the socials. Come check out the platform. We really love to, you know, hear your feedback as well. Come do a couple trades. Ask Velvet Unicorn for some alpha. Let me know if you know, you have any other suggestions, because I mean, our idea right now is to build the best trading and portfolio management system powered by AI, and that's where
Awesome. I don't know if I might be rugging. Might be him rugging, might be me. We'll see. I'll give it a second. Are we back? I think we're good.
All right. I'll be back. Yeah, I was gonna shill the shit out of everything, and then they rug.
Yeah, dude. No, if you got to shill that again, please shill the shit out of it all.
Yeah, I was saying, come check out the platform. Do a few trades. Ask Velvet Unicorn for alpha, and let me know if you have any suggestions, right? Because in the end, you know, we're building it for you. We want to hear all the feedback and all suggestions that you have. We want to make sure that we have the best trade execution and portfolio management platform here, powered by AI. So let's do it, guys.
Awesome. I'm definitely going to give it a spin. Dude, I'm going to work through the other virtuals ACP teams. We're going to get AIXVC on here, and we're getting them all. And at some point, I want to get multiple teams on to start talking some of these. I think some bigger, like, conceptual thing. Start talking about what this future looks like in 5-10 years, and a lot of jobs probably going bye-bye, maybe not all of it, right? But start talking about bigger concepts like that, AI companions. I'll invite you back for that. You're also welcome back anytime you have product updates, and even just for check-ins. But dude, thank you so much for joining. That was really, really cool. And again, we'll keep in touch and stay on top of those updates.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Love it. Let's definitely. Oh, am I right again? No,
I think you're okay.
Anyway, thanks for having me. Yeah. Let's definitely chat later on. Really enjoyed the discussion, and yeah, looking forward to making the ACP swarm happen.
Dude, I think it's going to be magic. Absolutely. Guys, enjoy your weekend. We will see you back here on Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern time, right here on the Swarm Report. Last time, smash the like on your way out, and just follow over on YouTube. It's Crypto Slam. Hit subscribe. Guys, we'll see you later. Peace.